Hi, Arrow.
How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. I'm wonderful. I'm up. I've got some tea. I'm actually in the process of taking these boiled eggs off the stove for a little protein, just doing it up.
Man, you're speaking my street. Positive, everything that you're doing right now, especially when it comes to the mind, body, and soul, because in reality, you're bearing that entire process of you to the world, and you've got to stay strong.
Yeah, very much so. It's definitely an interesting process to watch everything unfold while everyone's like, wow, this must be so incredible. You must feel like an entire celebrity. I'm like, my cat doesn't think so. So
I love cats because they kind of look at you going, what? Come on. Where's my meal today?
I know. I'm like, it's your mom. It's your mom on TV. Do you see me? And he's like, yeah, where's the gravy? I don't understand.
Yeah. You being down there in the Atlanta area, I'm up here in Charlotte. I mean, you know that between the two of us here, there is so much music alive in our hills and just in the lower lands. I mean, it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's incredible. And it's a little bit intimidating to be surrounded by so much talent in both of these areas, but there came a time where I was like, you're not too bad yourself, kiddo.
Yeah. So, but you know what? When you say something like that right away, because I have a show on iHeartRadio that's based on creativity is an addiction, and one of the things that I try to do in speaking with creative people is look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. I love you for what you did today. It may not have been perfect, but I love you.
That's a beautiful way to look at everything. I try to start my day with as much optimism as I can as well. One of the biggest things I wanted to do when entering this competition was to do it with kindness and to not compromise my integrity in any way. And thus far, I feel really good about being able to stay true to those things while still being a creative person and exploring my own artistic side in ways that I hadn't really before. Because, my background is in musical theater performing arts, and I've sang with bands and I've written my own music, but not to the same extent professionally. So taking a big step out as an artist has been the scariest part about all of this, making all of the decisions and choices on how I'm going to present myself to the world is much scarier than standing up there in front of the coaches and singing the songs.
Yeah. Hey, I got to give you a compliment. And because this is one voiceover actor to another voiceover actor, you speak perfectly in tune.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because speaking is like singing. If you're out of tune, how much am I really going to listen? But you speak really in tune.
Well, thank you. I think I have to blame it on my mom, who took us to the library when we were infants and just volunteered to read. Yeah. So she was always reading to us and then encouraging us to read back to her when we were able to, and just kind of got this cadence that I feel comes directly from her, because she has such a really sweet and calming demeanor and energy to her voice. So it all goes to mama.
Well, and you know what they always tell us, though? You have to read things out loud in order to share the story. You can't just sit there and read a script or even bring a script to life on stage if you're just going to mumble the words.
Truly. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, you're with Team Kelly. She is determined that Blake is not going to win this final season. He is not going home with that trophy. To be a part of that energy, that has got to really inspire you.
Oh, inspiring for sure. Daunting, 1,000%. I have all the confidence in the world in Team Kelly. No matter which way it ends up in the finale, I think Team Kelly has a really strong chance of taking the last season from Blake. But he's the fan favorite.
Yeah, he is.
We're not only contending with each other, we're contending against his fans as well. So it's a big deal.
Did she really give you guys those jackets, or was that just part of the play?
No, babe, it's in the closet right now.
Oh my God, that has got to be so cool.
Every day I'm like, do I flex on them at Target with the jacket? Do I do it? Do I do I take a walk in the park with the Team Kelly jacket? Do I do it or no? Or do I just frame it? Right now we're leaning towards framing it.
Wow. So now that you've seen everything behind the scenes, is it like the Wizard of Oz and you got to see the Grand Wizard? Because it's got to change you creatively in the way that, wow, I could create a show like this. I've been behind the scenes before, but this is big.
Yeah, I mean, again, I come from a theatrical world, not necessarily film and television in any capacity. This is my first real experience with how production goes on a film set. And wow, has it changed my view on how things are put together. You know, what the audience ends up seeing, because I mean, we're on what, season 23 of The Voice. Yeah. So watching 22 seasons of a show, you think you know exactly how everything goes, how it operates, how it functions. And then being a part of the show, it's a completely different experience.
Are you a writer in the way that I know that you write music, but is there a part of your personality and your creative journey where it's like, okay, I want to write a story. I want to write a novel of some sort?
I just, didn't know if that was a skill or something that I had. It's just loss of superficial. Like, I'm sorry, what, ma'am? I'm on a call. That's never been something that I've really explored. I've always liked the performance aspect of writing, of performing someone else's written works for such a long time. And then it wasn't even until later into the pandemic that I decided to, take a leap with voiceover work in that way. But I never say never, because I've been trying things in the last few years that I have been excelling at. I mean, look at The Voice. I never thought that I would be able to have the confidence or the ability to stand out in a television program. But just going there, being my authentic self, and seeing how much positive feedback I've gotten, I'm like, girl, you should have been doing this ages ago.
Well, you radiate that positive energy. I'll tell you that.
Oh, thank you. It's the only thing that keeps me going. It's really tough out here for a lot of people. Everybody's going through something. You never know what anyone's going through. So I try to just take every step that I can with compassion. Even with, it was really important. It became really important to me early on. With a lot of the younger contestants, that a lot of their validation is wrapped up in how far they get on the show, how much they succeed. Mm-hmm. And, having been a performer for, 10 years on a lot of these kids, it was very important for me to let them know that regardless of what happens in this experience, you are worthy and you are valid and your art deserves to be heard and you have to continue regardless. So it takes nothing away from me. They're not going to pick me to go forward by being crafty to another performer. At the end of the day, you still got to show up. You still got to perform and do what you got to do. But it doesn't take being a nasty person to do that. So
true. You got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, Arrow. I really appreciate that.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
All right. Thanks. You too. Bye.